Chapter 58. The funny thing was that after several dangerous catastrophes, the two protagonists were fine, but the Ning and Qi families were all bruised and battered. In the end, they were swallowed up by Xiaofan, a despicable villain. It was really a classic example of biting the hand that fed you. Su Yiyan did not have a good impression of Ning Qirui, a simp who had led a wolf into the house and harmed his family. But since she was determined to snatch the heroine halo from Wen Jingping and change her own fate, she could not let the Ning and Qi families help Wen Jingping like in her previous life. The intersection between the two was inevitable, so she could only start with Ning Qirui's illness. The original book did not mention what illness Ning Qirui had, and the Ning and Qi families were also secretive about it. They only knew that it was a sudden emergency and rapidly worsened in a few months. However, Su Yiyan, who had activated an important auxiliary skill at this moment, saw that Ning Qirui's kidney had begun to send out warning signs at a glance. Xia Junxing was not a fool. The sarcasm in Ning Qirui's words was so obvious that it made him think that the two had some personal grudges. Just as he was about to say something to ease the atmosphere, he heard Su Yiyan say faintly, "You often feel very weak recently, and your waist often hurts. You even occasionally have symptoms of oliguria and oliguria?" Ning Qirui's face changed slightly. "You? Yes or no?" Ning Qirui choked and said angrily, "It's none of your business." Ning Qirui's reaction just confirmed Su Yiyan's guess. She sighed deeply and patted Ning Qirui's shoulder very earnestly. She whispered, "Young man, think more and don't get angry. If you have kidney problems at such a young age, what will you do in the future?" Ning Qirui's agent and Xia Junxing were speechless. They seemed to have found out a big secret. If Ning Qirui's kidney was not good, then Ning Qirui was stunned for a few seconds before he realized what Su Yiyan meant. Instantly, he was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, and his hair stood on end. He slapped Su Yiyan's hand away and roared, "What nonsense are you talking about? Whether I'm talking nonsense or not, won't you know if you go to the hospital for a checkup?" Su Yiyan looked at the person in front of him with a subtle sense of sarcasm and scrutiny. "I can tell you with certainty that if your illness is not treated as soon as possible, there will be many complications soon. First of all, your kidney function will begin to show abnormalities, and oliguria is likely to progress to hematuria. If you discover it early and treat it early, you might still have a chance to live. Your own life depends entirely on you. If you don't value it, then no one can save you." After Su Yiyan finished speaking, she abandoned Ning Qirui, who was already dumbfounded, and quickly left. Xia Junxing was stunned for a few seconds. He looked at Ning Qirui with a complicated expression. In the end, he did not say anything and chased after Su Yiyan. "Qirui." As soon as the manager saw the two of them leave, he immediately went up to Ning Qirui and looked at him worriedly. He wanted to say something but was worried about hurting his self-esteem. After deliberating for a while, he said, "What Miss Su said just now. It's fake, it must be fake." Before the manager could finish speaking, Ning Qirui interrupted him sharply. "She must be lying to me. A despicable person like her can even make a false accusation about stealing someone's boyfriend. It can be seen that she is full of lies and can't be trusted. What she said just now was just to scare me. Yes, it must be just to scare me." Chapter 59. Xia Junxing caught up with Su Yiyan and asked tentatively, "Do you have a grudge against Ning Qirui?" "No." Xia Junxing did not believe her. "Then you just... What happened between us just now? I don't deny that he may have misunderstood me, but it was indeed the first time we met." Su Yiyan's words sounded simple, but there was a lot of meaning behind them. Who would be hostile to a stranger they met for the first time for no reason? Especially if the other party knew her name and family background. Since Su Yiyan did not have a grudge against him, someone must have said something to him. Xia Junxing's eyes were slightly cold, but he knew what to do next. Su Yiyan glanced at Xia Junxing and reminded him, "Brother Junxing, you are more familiar with the domestic upper-class circle than I am. Don't you think of anything else about the two words Ning and Qi?" "Ning and Qi?" Xia Junxing pondered for a moment and suddenly seemed to understand something. His face changed greatly. "You mean, you'd better take precautions in advance." "Precautions?" Xia Junxing was stunned for a few seconds before saying, "Is what you just said true?" "He really?" Su Yiyan looked at him with a faint smile. She did not say yes or no. Xia Junxing felt more and more uncertain. You. How did you know? What if I said that I saw it with my eyes? You saw it with your eyes. Xia Junxing looked suspicious. It was not that he did not take a closer look at Ning Qirui's face just now. His complexion was ruddy, and he was in high spirits. There were no dark circles under his eyes. How did Su Yiyan see that he was sick? Then how about you take a look at my body? Will I have some kind of hidden disease that can't be seen on the surface like Ning Qirui? Su Yiyan took a step back and looked Xia Junxing up and down. She smiled faintly and said, "You are very healthy, but your liver is hot. Don't always stay up late. Also, smoke less in the future. Don't smoke if you can." When Xia Junxing was nervous or stressed, he would smoke a little. He didn't smoke a lot and wasn't addicted. However, whenever he encountered an urgent project or a more troublesome matter, he would continuously smoke several sticks at a time. Very few people knew about this. Su Yuxuan was one of them. Hearing Su Yiyan's words, Xia Junxing's first reaction was, could it be that Su Yuxuan had told her? But would most people tell their little sister about their friend's habits in such detail? The topic ended there and did not continue. Su Yiyan knew that Xia Junxing did not believe her words very much. He might even see it as a small way for her to retaliate against Ning Qirui. But even if he did not fully believe it, he already had doubts in his heart. Coupled with Ning Qirui's identity, as long as one was a normal person, it was impossible not to be cautious. The Ning and Qi families would help when Jingping and Ning Qirui regardless of the consequences. On the one hand, it was because of the existence of the protagonist's halo. The plot was irreversible. On the other hand, how could there not be a factor of empathy? After all, the words of the dead and the words of the living were different. If Ning Qirui was alive, would his family still allow him to help other people's women so willfully and stand up for other people's women? What's more, when Ning Qirui saw Wen Jingping's true colors and knew that she was willing to give up everything for other men and even hurt his family because of it, would he still continue to be her bootlicker? Chapter 60. Yang Jinyu was the boss of a listed company. He was not even 30 years old this year, but he was already worth hundreds of millions. For him to have such achievements, his family background was one thing, but his own ability was also not to be underestimated. Unfortunately, compared to his work ability, the people outside were obviously more concerned about his endless love affairs. That's right, this big boss was not even 30 years old, but the number of girlfriends he had was enough to circle his company building. Although most of them parted on good terms, it didn't prevent the upper class from using this playboy's romantic affairs as a topic of conversation after a meal. However, recently, this young Master Yang also encountered a problem that made him very distressed. "Boss Yang, your takeout is here." The female secretary knocked on the door of the boss's office with a well-packed insulated box. Then, she heard the sound of running noises coming from inside. A hand reached out from behind the slightly open door and snatched the insulated box from her hand. The door slammed shut again, and the boss shouted with some excitement, "Don't let anyone come near my office for half an hour." Yang Jinyu sat in front of the table and stared at the insulated box in front of him expectantly and nervously. After a while, he finally made up his mind. He untied the bag outside the box and opened the insulated box. The familiar smell that he had smelled in the live broadcast room came to his nose. Yang Jinyu's whole body shook, and he couldn't wait to pick up the spoon and drink it. Considering that the seahorses raised in his fish pond were several times stronger than ordinary seahorses, Su Yiyan deliberately added a lot of water. The bowl of soup in Yang Jinyu's hand was not only full, but he was also very lucky to get one of the two seahorses in the pot, one male and one female. After drinking a few mouthfuls of soup, Yang Jinyu tried to take a bite of the dried seahorse. He found that the seahorse didn't have the fishy smell of ordinary dried goods. Instead, it was very delicious and chewy. By the time he reacted, the whole bowl of soup had been drunk by him, and not even the bones were left. Bop! Yang Jinyu burped contentedly. He didn't know if it was his illusion or not. After drinking the soup, he felt that the cold that had been entangled in his body for the past few days had dissipated a lot. His whole body was warm and very comfortable. "I don't know if this soup is really effective. Why don't he try it out with his new girlfriend tonight?" However, his previous girlfriend broke up with him because of his problems in that area. She even threatened him to extort a large sum of money from him. What if his current girlfriend also? Just as Yang Jinyu was hesitating, there was a sudden noise outside the door. Young Master Ning, please wait. Our boss really can't meet any guests right now. Please don't make things difficult for us. Sigh, young Master Ning. Yang Jinyu's face changed slightly. He stood up in fright and hurriedly packed up the things on the table. When Ning Chirue barged in, he had just stuffed the insulated box into his desk drawer. When he looked up, he saw his friend's dark face. The expression on Yang Jinyu's face was slightly stiff, and he inexplicably felt guilty. Chirue, why are you here? Ning Chirue frowned slightly and sniffed. What's the smell in your office? Taste. Only then did Yang Jinyu remember that the taste of dry soup was the most overbearing. He had just drunk a big bowl and was already used to the taste. Chapter 61. The expression on Yang Jinyu's face became more and more stiff. I ordered a meal from a special hotel at noon. I just finished it not long ago, so it may still taste good. Food. Don't you take nutrient solutions when you work? Why are you suddenly in the mood to eat alone? To improve my diet. Yang Jinyu paused and seemed to think that this reason was not very good, so he quickly added, to celebrate my 99th girlfriend. As soon as Yang Jinyu said this, he immediately received a disdainful look from Ning Chirue. Scumbag. Scumbag. Yang Jinyu was unhappy when he heard this title. Little brother, only a scumbag can be called a scumbag. I always finish what I started and part on good terms. This is not a scumbag. At most, it's called a romantic. Learn from me. Ning Chirue rolled his eyes and snorted at his argument. Seeing him like this, Yang Jinyu's eyes turned slightly, and he took the opportunity to change the topic. Speaking of this, don't tell me you ran into a wall in front of your future girlfriend, so you came here to vent your anger on me in exasperation? Yang Jinyu seemed to have thought of something when he said this. He frowned slightly and said slightly seriously, I'm telling you as an experienced person that the girl you like is not a pure little white rabbit. If you don't handle it well, she may swallow you whole. It's better to withdraw before you have any substantial relationship with her. If it were any other time, Ning Chirue would have exploded on the spot when he heard Yang Jinyu talk about his sweetheart like this. But at this time, he was depressed by Su Yiyen's words and did not react for a while. It's not her. I met a particularly annoying guy today. Oh. Yang Jinyu raised his eyebrows and became interested. Who dares to make young Master Ning unhappy? Does she want to die? It's an evil woman. When we met, she said that I was sick. Yang Jinyu burst out laughing on the spot. Sick? What disease? She said that I had a kidney problem. Kidney? Ning Chirue's face suddenly turned red. Isn't it? How can there be a kidney problem? I'm not like you, who changes girlfriends every few weeks. You're more likely to have kidney problems. How can I? Hey, how can you say that? Yang Jinyu felt as if he had been pricked by a needle. He stood up and glared at Ning Chirue with indignation. I'm just giving an example. Why are you so agitated? Of all the examples, why did you have to use this one? If it were you, would you be happy if others said that you have kidney deficiency? I only said that there's something wrong with the kidneys. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the kidneys. Yang Jinyu choked. The atmosphere in the room was a little subtle for a while. In the end, Yang Jinyu took the initiative to break the silence. It sounds like that woman is really too much. Ning Chirue also seemed to have woken up from a dream and echoed, Isn't that so? Not only did she say that there was something wrong with my kidney, but she also said that if I didn't get treatment soon, my life would be in danger. Do you think this is something a human would say? Yang Jinyu's face changed when he heard this. He pondered for a moment and said seriously, Since she said so, you should check it. Ning Chirue's eyes narrowed. Why are you all so? It's better to believe it than not. You can't be careless about things related to your body. What if? Ning Chirue was stumped by his question. What if? Who could guarantee that there would not be a what if? What if it was true? Then wouldn't he? Chapter 62. Su Yiyen strolled around her own entertainment company. After getting a general understanding of the company's current operations, she was ready to go back. Unexpectedly, just as she followed Xia Junxing to the company's entrance, the person beside her received a call. What? Asking for a person to be replaced by someone? Who is it? Wen Jingping? Is she an artist in our company? If not, then replace her. Anyway, it's just the beginning. It shouldn't be a big problem to have one less person. Wait. Su Yiyen finally couldn't help but interrupt the conversation between Xia Junsheng and the person on the other end of the phone. Xia Junsheng was stunned and turned to look at her in confusion. What's wrong? Someone wants to replace Wen Jingping? Who is it? This. Xia Junsheng hesitated for a moment, but still repeated Su Yiyen's question to the person on the other end of the phone. At first, the person was not very willing to reveal it, but later, he couldn't escape and said frankly, "It's the vice president." He said it's the family Hua's idea. Family Hua. Su Yiyen was surprised. Hua Xiaofan and Wen Jingping were in their honeymoon period. They couldn't wait to support her, so they definitely wouldn't let anyone replace her. Hua Xiaofeng's parents also didn't seem like people who would care about such a small matter. The only explanation was thinking that someone didn't say anything, but secretly stood up for her. Su Yiyen couldn't help but smile crazily. I understand. I'll tell him. Don't touch her for the time being. After saying that, Su Yiyen was worried that Xia Junxing and the people in the company would misunderstand, so she added, don't replace her, but don't pay too much attention to her. Just take care of our people. Xia Junxing wasn't stupid. Su Yiyen's words had already expressed her attitude. They didn't need to make things difficult for that woman named Wen Jingping, but they also couldn't make things easy for her. Where they went and how far they could go had nothing to do with them. Su Yiyen didn't make things difficult for Xia Junsheng and the vice president of the company. On the way home, she video-called Hua Chenhuan. When the video call connected, Hua Chenhuan was busy coaxing Dun Dun to eat. That's right, coaxing it to eat. This corgi cub symbolized the crystallization of love between the two of them. Ever since it entered the family Hua, it had enjoyed unprecedented royal treatment. Not only did it have its own luxurious villa, but it also had its own independent wardrobe and bathroom. The most important thing was that Hua Chenhuan never let anyone else do anything related to it. It dutifully served as the poop picker for its fiancé's pet. This made Yu Zian and the others suspect that their young master was really raising that fat dog as his daughter. Dun Dun. Who are you calling fat? As soon as the video call connected, Su Yiyen saw the enlarged dog face of her cub. The round black grape-like eyes looked as if it had found a backer when it saw its owner. It was full of resentment and whined as if it had suffered a great grievance. Su Yiyen was confused. She didn't understand what was going on. What's going on? Is it throwing a tantrum? It's throwing a tantrum. It won't eat. Why is it suddenly throwing a tantrum? Does it miss me? You have the right to make decisions for me. Actually, I was quite happy when I found out about this. Hua Chenhuan subconsciously clenched his fists, and his gaze on Su Yiyen became more passionate. Chapter 64. As a reincarnated person who had died once, no one understood Wen Jingping's evilness better than her. In her previous life, Wen Jingping hadn't even made it to the end of the variety show. Now, she had suddenly interfered and asked her to withdraw. With her female lead halo, the plot might be completed automatically. If she were to do something else, it wouldn't be worth it. Hua Chenhuan was silent for a moment when she heard her words. She asked hesitantly, do you still mind what happened to them? Of course I mind. Su Yiyen said without thinking. Although I don't have a good impression of Hua Xiaofeng and his family, and you could even say that I hate them, that doesn't mean that they can bully me and my family like this. When Su Yiyen said this, her face revealed a rare trace of hostility. Even a clay figurine has a temper. If they had told our family in private back then, it would have been fine. Let's part on good terms. From now on, we'll go our separate ways and have nothing to do with each other. But they're good. It's as if our family forced him to go through with this marriage. It's as if we're trying to break up an affectionate couple. I'm not a pushover. I won't be angry even if I let them bully me. Sooner or later, I'll make them pay the price. None of them will be able to escape. Dun Dun, who was in Hua Chenhuan's arms, seemed to resonate with its master's emotions. It barked a few times excitedly. When Hua Chenhuan heard that Su Yiyan didn't have any extra feelings for Hua Xiaofan, she relaxed a lot. I'll help you. Su Yiyan smiled. If you don't help me, who else can you help? But now's not the time. I'm worried. Hua Chenhuan saw the undisguised dependence and trust on Su Yiyan's face. She didn't have time to think before she spoke. What are you worried about? I'm worried that once she becomes a public figure, the ugly thing she did will be dug up. When that happens, you and your family will once again become the topic of gossip. So it was because of this. Su Yiyan immediately understood Hua Chenhuan's intentions, and her heart trembled. You don't have to worry about that. If the people who did wrong aren't afraid, why should a victim like me be afraid? Oh no, at that time, I won't be considered a victim. Maybe when someone comes to dance in front of me, I can thank him for not marrying me and become his aunt. Su Yiyan's eyes were shining when he said this. It was obvious that he was very satisfied with this outcome. But 1 month is so long. Hua Chenhuan's fingertips stiffened. In fact, Su Yiyan was not the only one who was impatient. If it was possible, he also hoped to write this person in front of him into his household register as soon as possible and enclose her in his private territory forever. Tomorrow, I'll look for you tomorrow. As soon as Hua Chenhuan finished speaking, Corgi, who was in her arms, began to struggle frantically to show his existence. Seeing this, Hua Chenhuan tactfully added, "Bring it along." Su Yiyan held back her laughter and nodded. Okay, is there anything you want to eat? I'll make it for you tomorrow. Hua Chenhuan's heart moved slightly. As long as it's made by you, I'll like it. Su Yiyan. What was the difference between following and following? Chapter 65. Although Su Yiyan had stayed by Hua Chenhuan's side for a while in the form of a wandering soul in her previous life, at that time, Hua Chenhuan was very busy with all kinds of things. It was common for her not to eat, and even if she did eat, she would just drink a bottle of nutrient solution casually. There was no problem of not tasting good food at all. Hua Chenhuan was stunned by the words for the rest of his life, and surrendered on the spot. I like things with a strong taste, and I don't like things that are too bland. After saying that, she seemed to have thought of something and added, "What you made last time was very good." Su Yiyan laughed. Although the soup she made last time was appetizing, if Hua Chenhuan had a strong taste, then it was indeed a bit too bland. Then I'll make something else tomorrow and see if it suits your taste. I know how to make a lot of things, so you don't have to worry about not being able to find something you like. Okay. After figuring out Hua Chenhuan's taste, Su Yiyan already had a plan in mind. She glanced at her favorability that had risen to 60 to 70,000. There was still a certain distance to the next level of 100,000. She almost didn't hesitate to exchange for a chili seed. That's right. Chili was also a medicinal plant that had gone extinct in this world. There were ordinary green onions, ginger, and garlic, but to cook fish with just ginger was still a little lacking. The next morning, Su Yiyan turned on the live broadcast on time. There were already about 1,000 people waiting online. When she came online, it only took a few seconds for the number of people to suddenly soar to over 10,000. Su Yiyan was just about to introduce today's ingredients when a bunch of high rewards broke into her sight. Congratulations to the live broadcast room, Yanyan's Little Kitchen, for receiving a luxurious villa *10 from the user, GoldenEye Gun I Don't Fall. Congratulations to the live broadcast room, Yanyan's Little Kitchen, for receiving a giant oil tanker *10 from the user, Big Big You Big. Congratulations to the live broadcast room, Yanyan's Little Kitchen, for receiving a rose *100 from the user, the most handsome man in the universe. The audience that came in later was stunned by the rewards as soon as they entered. What's going on? The streamer has just started broadcasting and there are already rich people flooding the screen? Why do the IDs of these viewers look so familiar? Aren't they the lucky audience members that the streamer drew yesterday? Oh my god, it's true. So, did they come back to thank the streamer after getting something that was really effective? If I remember correctly, the medicinal cuisine made by the host last night seemed to be. So these people, he. The internet had memories, especially since there were quite a number of people who had watched the live broadcast yesterday. Everyone still remembered what the two of them had done before the lucky draw. At this time, everyone was competing at the two of them on the screen, asking them to prove whether Su Yiyen's medicinal cuisine was really effective. Naturally, it was impossible for the two of them to appear. Just like before, they silently pretended to be dead. However, this did not affect their good mood at the moment. Take Yang Jinyu for example. After drinking the soup, he hesitated for a long time. In the end, he still asked his new 99th girlfriend out. After a simple candlelight dinner, the two got down to business. Yang Jinyu was pleasantly surprised to find that the problem that had been troubling him recently was really solved. Chapter 66. The other two viewers were in a similar situation. Although they were embarrassed to post on the bullet screen, they still had to show basic gratitude after receiving such a huge benefit. As soon as Su Yiyen saw their rewards, she roughly knew what was going on. She had received their faith points yesterday, which meant that they should have all drunk her soup and had a deep understanding of the effects of those soups. After thanking them one by one, she told the audience in the live broadcast room about today's arrangements. There's good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? This fatal opening caused the bullet screen in the live broadcast room to freeze for a few seconds. After that, someone asked with concern, "What's the bad news? Did the streamer encounter any difficulties?" Su Yiyen was stunned for a moment. She didn't expect such a reaction from the audience. Her eyebrows curved slightly, but she couldn't help but laugh. "The bad news is that my husband is coming over today. I have to prepare food for him now, so I can't give any of the dishes in the live broadcast room to you today. I'm sorry." This result was beyond many people's expectations, but most of them expressed their understanding. The dishes were originally made by the streamer, so she naturally had the right to decide whether to give them away or not and who to give them to. Instead, they were more concerned about, "My husband? Does it mean what I think it means? Why am I so caught off guard by such a large amount of dog food when I'm watching a gourmet live broadcast early in the morning? A dog's life is difficult." The streamer personally washed her hands and made soup for him. "Forgive me for turning into a lemon essence on the spot." Hey, didn't anyone realize that the streamer said she was coming over? Since they're a couple, she shouldn't have said anything about coming back. Are they living separately or on a business trip? Su Yiyen saw this comment at a glance and explained with a faint smile, "We're having our wedding next month, so we're not living together yet." Everyone suddenly understood. So they're just engaged. Does this mean that I still have a chance? Yes. Marriage is not a trifling matter. Is the streamer really not going to consider me? I'm actually also. Audience A and B were just joking. In fact, they didn't have the idea of interfering in someone else's marriage. As a result, after posting a comment, when they were about to post another one, they found that they were banned. Audience A and B. For the first time, Huan exercised his authority as a moderator by deleting all the comments that were trying to poach his girlfriend. He also muted them for an hour as punishment. Only comments were left discussing their wedding, asking if Su Yiyen could broadcast the wedding live, or giving out some small benefits on the wedding day, like making a few more medicinal cuisines for the lucky draw. Chapter 67. Alright, let's not talk about these digressions. Let's get to the point. Our first dish today is spicy boiled fish. The main ingredients used are 3 to 4 caddies of grass carp, ginger, garlic, and chili. You can add the rest of the vegetables according to your tastes. Su Yiyen specially reminded them, because the smell of chili is quite strong, some people may feel a little choked when smelling it for the first time. You can choose whether to turn off the smell simulation system or not. As Su Yiyen spoke, he cut off the head and tail of the 3 to 4 caddies of grass carp, then sliced the meat of the fish into slices. The knife skill that he had activated earlier finally came into play at this moment. He sliced the meat of the fish into small slices of moderate thickness and marinated them with cooking wine for a while. After frying the fish fillet and tail, it was time to fry the chili. The moment the chili was put into the pot, the live stream room was suddenly filled with a choking smell. Even though Su Yiyen had warned them beforehand, many people were still choked by the smell. Some people who were not used to the smell couldn't help but sneeze. "Oh my God, what is this thing? Why is it so choking? It's making me sneeze non-stop." Sneezing +1. I wasn't used to it at first, but after getting used to it, it seems to be quite fragrant. Am I bad? Is it choking? I think it's okay. It's really fragrant. I'm kind of looking forward to the final product. It would be great if I could draw a prize. When Su Yiyan was frying the chili, he took time to glance at the screen and found that although most people choked, they were not repulsed by the smell of chili. In this era where everyone ate nutrient solutions, although most nutrient solutions had different flavors, most of them were relatively mild and light. There were very few nutrient solutions with a particularly strong flavor. Most of them were regional dark cuisine. Apart from some people who were more curious, very few people were willing to touch them. This was the main reason why Wen Jingping was able to become popular in the gourmet live stream room so quickly. According to the original novel, she had a family cookbook. In this era, people who had recipes would either open their own high-end restaurants or work as private chefs for rich people. Just like Su Yiyan's Aunt Li, she was able to enter the Su family because she inherited some skills. There were not many people like Wen Jingping who directly broadcast on the internet. Because of this, Wen Jingping could quickly become popular in a short period of time and become the most popular sister in the gourmet area. However, that might not be the case after today. After stir-frying the chili, scallion, ginger, garlic, and other condiments, he added in the fish head, fishtail, and various other seasonings. After stir-frying, he added water, some soybean sprouts that had been blanched earlier, some vegetables that Su Yiyan liked, and sliced fish fillets. Then, he covered the pot and boiled it for a period of time. Taking advantage of this time, Su Yiyan hurriedly stewed the soup. Today, we'll be stewing cinnamon pork stomach soup. Other than pork stomach and lean meat, we'll also need ginger, barley, and cinnamon. I'm sure everyone is familiar with the rest. Let me introduce Job's barley and cinnamon to everyone. Chapter 68. As soon as Su Yiyan's words came out, the pop-up screen became lively again. A large number of people were asking what the cinnamon looked like and where they could buy it. There were even old viewers who had been following Su Yiyan since the first day. They complained that the wolfberries, red dates, and other things that had appeared in Su Yiyan's live broadcast room before could not be found in the market, let alone buy them and make them themselves. Seeing that many people were asking this question, the keyboard warriors hidden among the ordinary viewers also began to move. It can't be found in the market. Could it be that they are fooling people? That's right. They don't know what kind of Chinese herbal medicine it is. Can medicine be eaten casually? They don't even have a test report to confirm the ingredients. If something goes wrong, will the host be responsible? Similar words began to flood the screen in the live broadcast room. Even if there were other viewers who did not like these people's sarcasm and spoke up for Su Yiyan, they would immediately be attacked by a large group of people and turned into a water army. In such a situation, some people who were blamed for no reason were angry, and some people who were just watching for fun began to waver. They felt that what these people said was not unreasonable. Just as a few lucky viewers who had been drawn before and were watching the live broadcast wanted to stand up for Su Yiyan, all the comments questioning whether there was a problem with the Chinese herbal medicine were suddenly cleared. Several accounts that stirred up trouble in the live broadcast room were also directly banned. A line of words floated across the top of the live broadcast room in an extremely eye-catching and arrogant manner. Those who take the lead in questioning the host in the live broadcast room will be banned. After being banned, all accounts with the same identity and the same IP will never be able to participate in the live broadcast room's lucky draw. As soon as this sentence floated out, many people were surprised again. Ha! Did I see it wrong? Our live broadcast room has a moderator? Upstairs, you didn't see it wrong. That glittering golden font special effect. Damn, the moderator is the daddy of the leaderboard. No wonder those problematic comments just now are all gone. The great leader of the leaderboard is mighty. I'm so annoyed by these keyboard warriors who are questioning this and that everywhere. They are wearing the skin of a moralist and doing dirty things. Su Yiyan had just finished blanching the pig's stomach and put it into the stew pot with lean meat, ginger, barley, and cinnamon to stew. When he looked up, he saw the screen full of comments about the moderator of the live broadcast room. He could not help but be stunned. What moderator? What happened in the live stream just now? Nothing. Everyone is just discussing where to buy these Chinese medicinal herbs that the streamer mentioned. In addition, We are also wondering why there is suddenly a moderator in our live broadcast room. The viewers who stayed behind weren't stupid. Feng Guanqing's comments were banned because he didn't want the streamer to feel bad after seeing those comments. If they brought up the past now, they would be too inconsiderate. Su Yiyan had already thought of a solution to the purchase problem before the live broadcast, but it was still too early to completely solve this problem. The problem with the materials is a bit troublesome. We need to wait for a while to solve it. There will be a day when we can buy it. This sounded like an empty promise, but for those who were troubled by various difficult and complicated diseases, it was a life-saving straw. After Su Yiyan gave an affirmative answer, the audience quickly changed the topic and asked a question that they were very concerned about. Chapter 69. Su Yiyan was a bit confused by the series of questions, but her main focus was still on the second question. Why did she choose him to be the admin? Do you even need to ask? Of course it's because he's my man. But if she were to say this out loud, not only the audience in the stream, but also someone on the other side of the screen would probably explode. Just as Su Yiyan was distressed about how to respond, the new admin suddenly turned on the reward mode. Congratulations to the host, Yan Yan, for receiving 10 luxurious bungalows from a loyal viewer, Mountain Yu Su. Congratulations to the host, Yan Yan, for receiving 520 giant oil tankers from a loyal viewer, Mountain Yu Su. Congratulations to the host, Yan Yan, for receiving 9,999 roses from a loyal viewer, Mountain Yu Su. Su Yiyan. Audience. Do you understand now? Everyone, including Su Yiyan, took a few seconds to react. These 3 words were the admin's reply to the viewer who asked the question. The rows of rewards, along with the golden exclusive special effects, were all showing the words, "I have money." Why can he be the admin? Because he has money, he can do whatever he wants. The stream was instantly filled with cries. Countless viewers turned into lemons and cried bitterly, shedding tears of poverty. The viewer who asked the question felt like he was hit by 100,000 points of critical damage and temporarily shut himself up. Su Yiyan couldn't help but laugh. She had to admit that someone's simple and crude actions saved her a lot of trouble. In between the stewing of the soup, the boiled fish on the side was almost done. The moment the lid was lifted, the spicy and fresh aroma overbearingly filled the noses of the viewers who turned on the smell simulator. Ah, this smell, I'm going to die. How can it be so fragrant? With this smell, I can drink 10 bottles of nutrition drinks in one go. How can I drink nutrition drinks with this smell? Host, hurry up and turn on the taste simulator, I can't wait anymore. The waves of aroma lingered at the tip of the noses, causing many viewers to drool. The calls for Su Yiyan to turn on the taste simulator also became louder than ever. Su Yiyan smiled and finally kept her promise. For the first time, she turned on the taste simulator in the stream. The bullet screen in the stream was silent for a minute or two. Then it was greeted with a blowout explosion. It's really spicy, but it's so addictive. I want more after eating it, I can't stop. The taste of the fish is too fresh. I spent a lot of money before. I ordered steamed fish at a high-class restaurant, but it's not as tender and not as fresh as this one. I love this taste. It was indeed a little stimulating at first, but the more I eat, the more delicious it is. I feel like I can eat several bowls of white rice with just this taste alone. In the past, I always thought that the nutrient solution was pretty good. Even if I occasionally bled a little and went to a high-end restaurant to eat some natural vegetables, I didn't think that it was that amazing. However, after eating the streamer's fish today, he suddenly understood why some people would not hesitate to go bankrupt in order to satisfy their desire for good food. Chapter 70. When Su Yiyan saw the last comment, she couldn't help but laugh. The chili she planted this time was semi-dehydrated, so it was obvious how spicy it was. Some people couldn't get used to putting it in the spicy boiled fish as seasoning, let alone eating it directly. Fortunately, this was just a taste simulation on the internet. If they dared to eat it in reality, they would probably die from the spiciness. The taste of chili itself is quite stimulating. It's best not to eat it dry, or you may have some symptoms of stress. Su Yiyan's kind reminder didn't hurt the audience's admiration for the spicy boiled fish. Many people had already tried to act cute and begged Su Yiyen to be merciful and change her mind to draw a prize. Su Yiyen was unmoved. She only smiled faintly and said, "When chili can be sold publicly in the future, everyone can cook fish at home and eat it. It's best to use grass carp to cook spicy boiled fish because grass carp is delicious and tough. Its meat won't break when it's boiled. The weather is getting colder now. Eating spicy things can promote blood circulation, so the body and limbs won't be too cold. It also has the effect of strengthening the immune system. Grass carp is rich in nutrients. Eating more can also have the effect of beautifying the face and warming the stomach. However, eating a little is enough. Don't eat too much. It's easy to get heaty if you eat too much chili." However, these words didn't comfort the audience in the live broadcast room who were crying piteously for food. "Is that the fish I'm missing? I lack chili and the host's hands. When can we buy chili? I feel like we have to wait for a long time. Woo, I feel like the host is fooling us. I can't refuse this recommendation." The audience in the live broadcast room was crying in their hearts because they couldn't eat the real hot spicy boiled fish. However, they couldn't resist the temptation of the delicious food and wolfed it down. Su Yiyen ignored the complaints on the pop-up screen and prepared the other two dishes she chose: Kung Pao chicken and spicy crayfish. The ingredients of these two dishes were relatively simple. The main ingredients were chicken breast and crayfish, and the more complicated seasonings and scattered side dishes. The chicken breast was okay, but many viewers were afraid of the crayfish's appearance. "These pincers are so big. I'm a little scared just looking at them." "I know. This is a crayfish. Its pincers are especially big, and it's very painful when it pinches people. There are some near the beach near our house. The high-end restaurants nearby also sell this. I bought it once. It's a little fishy and earthy, and it doesn't taste good either. I keep eating sand." Sand. Su Yiyen pondered for a moment and roughly figured out the reason. Most of the places where lobsters live have silt, so most of the lobsters still have silt in their bodies when they're caught. Before cooking them, you need to put them in clear water for 1 to 2 days. Let them spit out all the silt, then there won't be the smell of dirt. Other than that, prawns usually have a line, which is the black line on the back of the prawn. Su Yiyen purposely picked out the shrimp's intestine and showed it to the audience. This is the shrimp's excretory system, and it contains the shrimp's unfinished excretory waste. If you don't remove it, it won't be clean, and it will affect the taste. Just like the audience member said, it will taste like sand, and it will taste a little bitter. The viewers in the live stream, especially the one who had just said that there were crayfish near his house, were suddenly enlightened. Chapter 71. With the help of his knife skills, Su Yiyen quickly removed the shrimp lines from the large pot of crayfish and started to stir-fry a series of ingredients. Compared to the initial discomfort, the audience had gradually adapted to the taste of the chili. Many people had begun to drool even before the main ingredients were put in. Not to mention the audience who had turned on the taste simulation system. They were tasting the spicy boiled fish next to them while staring at the crayfish in Su Yiyen's hands. It could be said that they were looking at the pot while eating from the bowl. The crayfish and Kung Pao chicken were not difficult to make. After the ingredients were stir-fried, the main ingredients were put in and stir-fried. Then, a series of spices were added and water was added to the sauce. As long as the fire was controlled well, there would be no dark cuisine. Although many people were afraid of the crayfish's slightly ferocious pincers at the beginning, when it came out of the pot, most people could not control their hands and mouths at all. This crayfish doesn't taste like dirt at all. It's sweet and chewy. It's super appetizing when paired with the spicy taste. Yes. There's a big difference between having shrimp lines and not having shrimp lines. The one I ate before was bitter and rough. Plus, it didn't have this spicy taste. It was edible, but compared to this one, it's like heaven and earth. What a waste of God's gift. Woof. It's great to eat, but the more I eat, the hungrier I get. My stomach is growling a few times. I seriously suspect that the streamer is doing this on purpose. Sob. I regret it. This is not a benefit at all. It was fine before. I could just take a whiff, and I could still bear it. Now that I've eaten the streamer's dishes, how can I eat the tasteless nutrient solution? Although the taste simulation system in the live broadcast room could simulate the taste of food for people to taste, It was still virtual and not real. It could not give them a sense of fullness. As long as they thought about having to go back and drink the nutrient solution after tasting such delicious food, many people felt that they had nothing left to live for. Hua Chenhuan looked at the wailing and howling on the screen, but his mood was unprecedentedly happy. Howl all you want. No matter how much you howl, these dishes were made for him to eat. No one can snatch them. If it weren't for the fact that he didn't want to expose himself, he wouldn't even let Su Yiyan use the taste simulation system. Hua Chenhuan was feeling smug and gloomy at the same time. Suddenly, she saw a few words on the screen, and her face sank. Shameless trashy streamer. She even plagiarized our Lord Fuping for marketing purposes. Shameless *tch. Do you really think that our Lord Fuping has no fans? The plagiarist was killed on the spot. Our great Fuping has just been invited to participate in a variety show, and someone can't wait to take advantage of the situation and plagiarize to get to the top. This trashy streamer is really shameless. At this time, Su Yiyan had just put the last dish into the pot. When he looked up, he saw these messages. His face sank, but he had a faint understanding that it was finally here. She flipped the vegetables in the pot as if nothing had happened and chuckled. Are you trying to scam me? These words angered the fans who came to find fault, and the bullet screen that popped out instantly became denser. Scamming? Our Lord Fuping is the #1 sister in the gourmet area. Why would she need to scam you, a little transparent person with only a few 100,000 fans? That's right. The streamer plagiarized shamelessly and wants to make a false accusation? Click. The sound of food being put into the pot could be heard, followed by a burst of fragrance that made people who smelled it want to swallow their saliva. Chapter 72. The people who were looking for trouble were stunned for a few seconds because of the sudden fragrance of the dishes, but when they heard this, they quickly reacted. Of course, the plagiarist won't admit to plagiarism. Who in the gourmet area doesn't know the name of our Fuping Dada? Recently, some swindlers have appeared in the gourmet area. Anyone who watches their live broadcast knows that they are imitating Fuping. Unfortunately, a fake is a fake, and it can't become real. Fuping Dada's last live broadcast before participating in the variety show was fish. The host made a big pot of fish today and dares to say that she didn't plagiarize? She's really shameless. These people came aggressively and confidently. At first, many people in the live broadcast room were shocked and unsure whether Su Yiyan had plagiarized or not. Now that they saw the rhetoric of these people, they couldn't help but laugh. Su Yiyan also laughed. She knew that there were creatures in this world called brainless fans. They went around arguing with people in the name of being good people. On the surface, they were defending themselves, but in reality, they were inviting criticism. The people in front of her were obviously this kind of people. Oh, so as long as it's cooking, whether it's fish or prawns, it's plagiarism? It turns out that the fish and prawns were all discovered by your Dada. Only she can cook them, and no one else can touch them. The gourmet area is also booked by your Dada. As long as someone does this kind of live broadcast, it's because they watched your Dada's live broadcast and copied her? If you have the guts, go and ask those seafood fishermen and the chefs of those high-end restaurants. See if they agree or not. Generally, most hosts would choose to turn a blind eye to such scams, and let their fans help fight back to prevent people with ulterior motives from taking things out of context and causing more trouble. Su Yiyan's direct rebuttal was a bit unexpected. The old viewers in the live broadcast room were the first to react. 666. The host is awesome. You should confront these disgusting KY fans directly like this. Yes. I've been sick of this Fuping for a long time. Although the things in her live broadcast room are really good, the way she speaks and her brainless fans are really not likable. Almost all the hosts in the gourmet area can see their KY fans in the live broadcast room and under the recording screen. They really treat the gourmet area as their home. Disgusting. I can testify to this. I saw them scolding a new host until she cried. They went up to greet other people's families. Their mouths are really smelly. Su Yiyan did not expect Wen Jingping to have so many die-hard fans. She had not even figured out how to deal with this so-called female lead, and these die-hard fans of hers had already ruined her passers-by's popularity. Those KYs who had failed to find fault with Su Yiyan were furious when they realized what had happened. Just as they were about to scold Su Yiyan, They realized that their accounts had been banned. Naturally, the angry crowd couldn't just let it go like that. Together with the keyboard warriors, they registered alternate accounts and came back to kill. Why did you block my account? Guilty. She got banned just because she asked a few questions. Does the streamer want to make the live stream her own words? Of foo. Oh, you can be blocked. Do you need a reason? Hua Chenhuan's face was dark. She blocked all the other accounts again and asked Yu Zian to speed up the backstage identity verification. Chapter 73. The group of people who were dragged into the darkroom again were furious. They wanted to register a new account, but they realized that there was an identity verification system in the background. They had to enter their identity information to complete the registration. Many of them filled in their information with a dark face, but they were told that they had been banned from the website. Not only were their previous accounts banned, but they also had no chance to register a new account. They were so angry that they almost smashed their phones. After another batch of accounts were banned, the live stream room returned to its original peaceful state. At this time, Su Yiyen's last dish was finally done. The last dish is done, and the people are almost here. The soup will take about half an hour to finish. Because of the rush, I won't show you the final product. Today's live stream will end here. I might be busy tomorrow, so I might have to take a day off. When the specific time for the next live stream is confirmed, I will announce it in advance. If you are interested, please pay attention. As soon as Su Yiyen finished speaking, a bunch of gift effects appeared in the live stream room. At first, it was only the admin who was sending gifts, but later, there were a few more people who took turns to send gifts. The scene was spectacular. Su Yiyen took a closer look and realized that most of the people who were sending gifts were the lucky viewers that she had picked before. After turning off the live stream, Su Yiyen breathed a sigh of relief. She walked out of the kitchen and asked a few servants to bring the big pot of boiled fish and 2 other dishes to the table. As soon as she turned around, she saw her parents and brother looking at her expectantly. Su Yiyen, you guys. Didn't you leave? Ahem. Father Su's wife pinched his arm. He said with a cold face, I heard from Auntie Li that Hua Chenhuan is coming to our house today. Su Yiyen. It was so hard for her to live under the watchful eyes of a group of people. Yes, he happened to be free today, so he wanted to come and see me. So that's why you woke up early in the morning and cooked a table full of dishes. Su Yuxuan's face was cold, but his heart was as sour as a lemon on a lemon tree. He didn't know when his sister learned to cook, but all she wanted to do was to wash her hands and make soup for that dog of a man. His heart ached. Cheng Xiaoqin wasn't as hostile to Hua Chenhuan as the father and son, but she was very interested in the delicious dishes that her daughter made. She immediately said, This is the first time he's coming to our house. We don't feel safe leaving you alone at home. Today, we won't go anywhere. We'll stay here with you. That's right. This is the first time that the future son-in-law comes to visit, and there's no one at home to back you up. If people think that you don't have a backer, what if they bully you in the future? Su Yiyen almost cried. What was there to be worried about with him here? To bully me? Su Yiyen had already predicted the impending Shuraba 2.0. Her face was full of despair. Therefore, when Hua Chenhuan returned to the Su family with Dun Dun, who was eager to return home, he was met with the terrifying scene of everyone in the Su family sitting around a table full of fragrant dishes, waiting solemnly for his arrival. The moment he stepped through the door, the 2 men from the Su family stared at him with their cold gazes. Chapter 74. The duel between the 3 men began with their eyes. The moment their eyes met, sparks flew everywhere. It was frightening to watch. In the end, Su Yiyen was the first to break the silence. He stood up and walked over. You're here. We're just in time for dinner. I'll take you there. Su Yiyen reached out his hand and squeezed Hua Chenhuan's shoulder. The warmth and softness that did not belong to him left as soon as he touched her. However, Hua Chenhuan's heart strangely settled down. Su Yiyen pushed Hua Chenhuan to sit next to him. At the same time, he asked Aunt Li to take Dun Dun to the side to feed him dog food. Dun Dun was very unhappy. Before it left, it cried out a few times to Su Yiyen, complaining that its master brought its dog Daddy to eat a big meal, but let it eat cold dog food. It really broke its heart. Sure enough, with a dog Daddy, it lost its master's favor. Su Yiyan skillfully adjusted Hua Chenhuan's wheelchair to a position corresponding to the dining table. Unintentionally, he drew another wave of hatred for her. Cheng Xiuqin saw this small detail. His eyes flashed, but he said nothing in the end. Everyone's here. Let's start eating. The dishes I made today are a little heavy. Try them and see if you like them. If you like them, I'll make them again next time. These words were clearly said to everyone present. However, Hua Chenhuan subconsciously felt that Su Yiyan said it to him. Hua Chenhuan's hands, which were hanging by his side, tightened slightly. Then, a hand reached over from the side, gently but forcefully separated his fingers, and interlocked their fingers. The three people on the other side of the table did not notice the small movement between the two. When they heard Su Yiyan's words, they looked at each other and picked up their chopsticks to grab a piece of fish. It was not that Aunt Li had never made fish for them before. It was just that most of the time she made steamed fish. Although the taste was not bad, they always felt that something was missing. The moment the fish made by Su Yiyan entered their mouths, it gave them a very different taste stimulation. Cheng Xiuqin usually had a mild taste. When he took the first bite he frowned, but he was not in a hurry to spit it out. He chewed carefully, and after eating one piece, he took a break for a while before picking up the second piece. Mr. Su and his son were not as reserved as she was. They seemed to be the type who loved spicy food since their eyes lit up after just one bite. After that, without needing Su Yiyan's instructions, they automatically reached their chopsticks towards the fishbowl. Su Yiyan was a little relieved when he saw that they didn't reject the taste of chili. He also saw that Hua Chenhuan didn't want to fight with them for the chopsticks, so he took the initiative to pick up a few pieces of fried fish steaks and fresh fish belly and put them in front of him. Eat more fish to nourish yourself. Hua Chenhuan's eyes warmed as she replied in a low voice. Yes. When Mr. Su and Su Yuxuan saw this scene, they started to feel jealous again. Humph, humph. Su Yiyan lowered his head and held back his laughter. He ignored the two men's childish dissatisfaction and picked up a crayfish to peel. Hua Chenhuan had just finished eating a piece of fish when he looked up and met Su Yiyan's sparkling eyes. I specially asked someone to bring this crayfish over yesterday. I put it in the water for a whole day and spat out all the mud in its stomach. Now, it doesn't taste like mud at all. It's very sweet. You. Cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, 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 cough. Before Su Yiyan finished speaking, a trio of coughs sounded in his ears. He turned his head in confusion and saw that the three people opposite him were staring at the crayfish in his hand with incomparable passion. Chapter 75. Su Yiyan's hand that was holding the prawn moved to the left, and their eyes followed suit. When she moved to the right, their eyes also followed suit. Su Yiyan's eyes were full of smiles. She tentatively put the prawn meat into Hua Chenhuan's bowl. Sure enough, they couldn't sit still anymore. Cough, cough, cough. Cheng Xiuqin cleared her throat and said meaningfully, I've been out late with my sisters for the past few days. My mouth always feels bitter, and I don't have an appetite for anything. With her leading the conversation, Su Yuxuan hurriedly chimed in. Me too. Recently, I've had to go out to socialize when discussing business deals. I drank a little too much and my mouth tastes bitter. It's so dry that I feel uncomfortable. Although Mr. Su didn't join them in the commotion, his eyes fixed on the prawn meat was actually a crazy hint. Su Yiyan glanced at the three people who were crying piteously for food, then turned to look at Hua Chenhuan. In the end, she put the first piece of prawn meat she peeled into her mother's bowl. Mom, eat this prawn. It's beautifying and tastes good. Cheng Xiuqin was overjoyed. She looked around like a victorious peacock. After showing off her position in the family, she picked up the red and white prawn meat and stuffed it into her mouth. With just one bite, she was captivated by the chewy texture. Delicious. Eat more if it's delicious. Su Yiyan picked up another prawn and peeled it. In an instant, everyone's eyes were focused on her hands. Cheng Xiuqin won first place and was content to watch from the sidelines. Mr. Su, on the other hand, was a little nervous. He was afraid that he would fall behind the two juniors. It was natural for him to be one step behind his wife. However, if his position in his daughter's heart was lower than the two juniors, then it was really. Fortunately, Su Yiyen didn't disappoint him. The second prawn successfully landed in Mr. Su's bowl. Mr. Su breathed a sigh of relief. He happily picked up the prawn that his precious daughter had peeled for him and put it into his mouth. If there weren't outsiders present, he would have taken out his phone to take a 360-degree picture of the prawn and posted it on his WeChat account. He would have made his old classmates jealous and hate him. Seeing that his parents each had a prawn, Su Yuxuan, on the other hand, was calm. He didn't believe that in his sister's heart, he was inferior to a wild man that she had only known for a few days. However, many things in this world was what he feared most. After Su Yiyen peeled the third prawn, she didn't even look at her big brother. And naturally, she reached for Hua Chenhuan's bowl. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Su Yuxuan's expression changed slightly. He coughed like a severely ill patient, but he still could not stop the third prawn from landing in Hua Chenhuan's bowl. Mises, mise. At this moment, Su Yiyen turned to look at him in confusion. She asked worriedly, "Brother, do you have a cold? Why are you coughing so badly all of a sudden?" Su Yuxuan made a last-ditch effort and hinted weakly, "I want to eat prawns too." It's best not to eat seafood when you have a cold. Su Yuxuan instantly became like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. She exploded on the spot. "No, I want to eat prawns. Now, immediately right now." Su Yiyen's face was cold. "Oh, then peel it yourself. How old are you? If you want to eat prawns, then eat them. Why are you so fierce? You're crazy." Su Yuxuan received a look of disdain from his sister. A mouthful of old blood was stuck in his throat. Chapter 76. Elder brother Su, who had failed in his attempt to beg for food and had been despised instead, silently teared up and was self-sufficient. Su Yiyen glanced at him and retracted her gaze to see if Hua Chenhuan liked to eat crayfish. Before she could turn her head, a piece of plump and fragrant crayfish meat was delivered to her mouth. Su Yiyen turned her head in confusion and met Hua Chenhuan's gentle and smiling eyes. After being stunned for a moment, Su Yiyen quickly reacted. Her eyebrows curved as she opened her mouth and ate the crayfish meat. Her soft lips brushed against his slender fingers. Hua Chenhuan's eyes darkened, and there was a hint of forbearance and restraint in the depths of his eyes. This intimate feeding scene naturally fell into the eyes of the three people sitting opposite them. They felt like they had lost somewhere. After Su Yiyen finished eating the crayfish meat that Hua Chenhuan handed her, she suddenly seemed to have thought of something and chuckled. "What's wrong?" "Nothing. I just suddenly thought of a saying that I read before." "Saying?" "Crayfish are very troublesome to eat, so there was a saying on the internet before. To determine whether a man is worth entrusting your life to, you have to see if he's willing to peel crayfish for you, and how long he's willing to peel crayfish for you." Hua Chenhuan's eyes flickered. She silently picked up the crayfish on the plate and began peeling it. After about 10 seconds, another piece of crayfish meat appeared in Su Yiyen's bowl. "For a lifetime." "What?" "As long as you like it, it's for a lifetime." Su Yiyen quickly realized that Hua Chenhuan's words meant that as long as she liked it, he could peel crayfish for her for a lifetime. Her face instantly turned red, and she silently lowered her head to pick up the crayfish meat in her bowl. The crayfish meat that had perfectly absorbed the soup should have been spicy, but Su Yiyen felt that it was strangely sweet in her mouth. Mr. Su and elder brother Su, who were silently sitting opposite them. "This dog of a man only knows how to sweet-talk my daughter, sister. Beast scum." Before the father and son could react, Cheng Xiaoqin took the initiative and pushed his bowl in front of Father Su. Mr. Su, who had been a slave to his wife for 20 to 30 years, immediately understood what his wife meant. He immediately forgot about his anger and sat beside his wife, diligently peeling the prawns for her. She even had the thought of competing with Hua Chenhuan. She peeled the prawns neatly and neatly. In just a moment, she had stacked half a bowl of prawns for Cheng Xiaoqin. Brother Su watched as his father changed sides at the last minute. Apart from him, all the single dogs at the table were in pairs, sweetly peeling prawns for each other. F***CK, everyone is bullying me for being single. Don't single dogs have human rights? Just like that, a nice lunch had somehow turned into a battlefield of public displays of affection. As the only single dog present, Su Yuxuan had no choice but to tuck his tail between his legs to survive. He was also forced to eat a stomach full of dog food. The resentment on his head was almost tangible. Although Su Yiyan didn't expect so many people to stay at home to eat, the amount of food she cooked was still sufficient. When the 5 of them were about 70 to 80% full, Su Yiyan got up and rushed into the kitchen to bring out a bowl of cinnamon pork belly soup. Mom, you and Chenhuan should drink more. This soup is specially made to ward off the cold. After drinking it, your hands and feet won't always feel cold in winter. Hua Chenhuan's legs were inconvenient, so her limbs were always a little cold. Especially in winter, it was normal for her hands and feet to feel cold. Cheng Xiuqin was the same. In winter, her hands and feet couldn't warm up. Su Yiyan had originally planned to leave an extra bowl for her. As for her father and brother, they were strong and healthy, so it wasn't good to eat too much. Forget it. Chapter 77. Regardless of the effect of the soup, drinking such a steaming bowl of soup after the meal warmed up their bodies from the inside out. It was very refreshing. In the end, there was not much left in the large bowl of soup, and almost all of it went into their stomachs. They went from being 70 or 80% full to 80 or 90% full. Once a person ate too much, they would feel drowsy and sleepy. The Su family was in a similar situation now. However, at the thought that someone was still here, the sleepiness in Mr. Su and Brother Su's heads suddenly flew away. They looked at Hua Chenhuan with more scrutiny. Come with me to the study. Mr. Su looked Hua Chenhuan up and down and said before leaving with Su Yuxuan. Hua Chenhuan's hand that was holding the wheelchair tightened, but she did not say anything. She obediently followed behind the 2 of them and left. Su Yiyan was a little anxious when he saw this. He got up and was about to follow, but Cheng Xiuqin stopped him. Mom, Dad and brother. What's wrong with them? They just want to talk to him about something. It's not like they're going to swallow him alive. Look at how nervous you are. Just wait here with me. You're not allowed to go anywhere. Su Yiyan was not comforted at all. He thought that they would not swallow him alive, but they would do something worse than that. At that moment, the father and son, who were already determined to do something terrible, walked into the study and went straight to the point. Regarding the list of betrothal gifts that family Hua recently handed over, there are some things that I need to confirm with you in person. I also have some questions that I want to ask you in person. Go ahead. Mr. Su stared into Hua Chenhuan's eyes and said seriously, Are you sure that you want to give all those things under your name to Yan Yan as betrothal gifts? If it were not for the fact that he suddenly wanted to become in-laws with Hua Chenhuan, Mr. Su would not have known that Hua Chenhuan had so many businesses under her name. She did not lose out to the current head of family Hua, Hua Qihan. She might even have more businesses than Hua Qihan. Yes, Hua Chenhuan said without thinking. In my opinion, nothing in this world can compare to her. What's mine is hers. Yan Yan said you've liked her for a long time. Is that true? Hua Chenhuan's expression changed slightly, and his eyes couldn't help but reveal some surprise and confusion. However, he quickly calmed down and said truthfully, It's true. I've liked her for a long time, longer than any of you think. Mr. Su's eyes turned cold. If that's the case, why didn't you say so earlier? You didn't show up when Yan Yan and Hua Xiaofan were engaged? Because I'm afraid that I won't be able to control myself. Su Yuxuan raised an eyebrow. Can't control yourself? More than anyone else, I want to have her, own her, and even monopolize her. The faces of the father and son of the Su family darkened. They looked at Hua Chenhuan with eyes as sharp as arrows, wishing that they could poke 17 or 18 holes in his body right now. Hua Chenhuan turned a blind eye to their hostility. In his opinion, the biggest problem between him and Su Yiyan at that time was never anyone else but himself. But I can't do that, because I can't give her happiness. She should have a complete marriage without regrets, a healthy husband, and a lovely child. Then why have you changed your mind now? Chapter 78. Mr. Su was silent for a long time, then he sighed. Actually, I was very opposed to this marriage from the beginning. Hua Chenhuan's eyes darkened, and a trace of hostility flashed across his eyes. Mr. Su seemed to have realized something, and he sneered. It's not just because of your legs, but also because of you. You're too lethargic. He was clearly a young man in his early 20s, but he always gave people a sense of lethargy and coldness, as if he had one foot in the grave. He was like a black panther hibernating in the abyss, ruthless and ruthless. He could rush out at any time, snap your throat, and take you down to hell with him, never to be reincarnated. As a father, even if he knew that such a person was not an ordinary person, he would never want his daughter to be entangled with such a dangerous person. But after seeing the way the two of them interacted with each other, Mr. Su's thoughts unexpectedly changed. Hua Chenhuan might indeed be a dangerous person, but the way he looked at his daughter could not lie. When he looked at other people, there was only coldness and depth in his eyes, like a god overlooking the world from a high position, and he would not feel any sadness or joy for the ants in his eyes. But when such a person faced Su Yiyan, there was a light in his dead eyes. When a high and mighty god was pulled down from his altar and had emotions like an ordinary person, then the person who caused all this must be the most important person to him. I don't believe that there are pure good and bad people in this world. Maybe my first impression of you wasn't good, but after seeing how you interacted with Yan Yan, I'm willing to take a gamble. The premise is that you can fulfill your promise and never let her get hurt. Hua Chenhuan did not say anything nice, and only replied with incomparable sincerity, "Don't worry. Remember what you said." Hua Chenhuan and the others did not talk for long. After about half an hour, they came out. Su Yiyan immediately went up to them and said nervously, "Are you okay? Did they make things difficult for you? Or did they say anything bad to you? No matter what they say, don't take it to heart. They're just worried about me. They don't mean anything else." Hua Chenhuan looked at Su Yiyan's anxious expression, and the corners of his lips curled up slightly. He took the initiative to hold her hand and said, "No, we're just discussing the wedding next month." "Really? Really? You have a great family." Hua Chenhuan was actually not disgusted by the Su family's targeting of her. The more they targeted her, the more it showed that they cared about Su Yiyan. This was a lovely family, and it was because of this lovely family that there was Su Yiyan who was worthy of love. Su Yiyan smiled when she heard Hua Chenhuan's words. She leaned close to Hua Chenhuan's ear and said cheerfully, "They will also be your family in the future." Hua Chenhuan's heart trembled violently. Yes. After confirming that Hua Chenhuan was not in a difficult position, Su Yiyan was slightly relieved. Thinking of the original plan, she asked carefully, "My friend is coming back tomorrow. I want to go out and buy her some gifts. Do you want to accompany me?" Su Yiyan was actually very uncertain when she asked this question. She did not know how long Hua Chenhuan had not gone out shopping. At least in all her memories of her previous life, she had never gone out. This was a bold attempt, and at the same time it was also a kind of test. The owner of Dundon's fiancé? Yes. Chapter 79. Gu Xiaoyang and Yu Zian were shocked when they found out that Hua Chenhuan was going shopping with Su Yiyan. Ever since Hua Chenhuan's leg became like this due to the accident, he had never attended public places such as banquets or shopping malls. He would not go out if he could. If he had not heard about Su Yiyan's incident, he would not have appeared at Hua Qihan's house that day. But now, he had promised Su Yiyan that he would accompany her to the shopping malls where people came and went. Gu Xiaoyang and Yu Zian looked at Su Yiyan as if she was an evil concubine who would bring disaster to the country. Su Yiyan did not care about what they thought. She took Hua Chenhuan straight to the nearest department store. "What do you think I should get her?" "And Hua, she's Dundon's fiancé. She's our future daughter-in-law. We have to buy her a gift or something." Hua Chenhuan was almost amused by her. "That dog is called Hua. If she's our daughter-in-law, won't your friend be our in-law?" Su Yiyan smiled and nodded hurriedly. "You can say that. Is there anything she likes?" "Her? She likes money." "Money?" Hua Chenhuan was a little confused by this elegant and refined answer. Su Yiyan frowned slightly and showed a trace of disgust. Hua Chenhuan noticed this immediately. The smile in her eyes faded a little and she asked with concern, "What's wrong?" Su Yiyan shook her head. "Forget it, I won't ask you. If I ask you to buy something for her, it'll feel like you're helping to pick out a gift for her. I'll be jealous. Yu Zian, who was a few steps behind the two of them, vaguely heard the last sentence. Were all girls so direct these days? When Hua Chenhuan heard Su Yiyen's words, she was stunned as well. Her expression softened as she replied in a low voice. Okay. In the end, Su Yiyen decided to go to the clothing and accessory store, and then go to the pet store to buy some toys for Dun Dun and its little friend. In the end, Su Yiyen chose a beige scarf from the new autumn/winter style. Just as she was about to take her things to the counter, she suddenly saw another man's scarf not far away. Hua Chenhuan sat in his wheelchair and looked at the people coming and going in the shopping mall. His eyes were cold and deep, and no one could tell whether he was happy or angry. Suddenly, a warm scarf was wrapped around his neck. Hua Chenhuan was slightly stunned. He raised his head and met Su Yiyen's sparkling eyes. Do you like it? Hua Chenhuan touched the soft and warm scarf around his neck. His dead eyes were gradually filled with a warm smile. I like it. Winter is coming. We have to buy a scarf. Oh, and a hat. Although Yu Zian and Gu Xiaoyang had been following the two of them, they had kept a certain distance from Hua Chenhuan and Su Yiyen to make it easier for them to date. Just like now, when the two of them were picking things in the store, the two of them were guarding outside the store to see if there were any suspicious people among the pedestrians walking around the store. When they turned their heads, they saw the future young madam pushing their young master to the clothing and hat section. She put all kinds of hats on their young master's head as if she was treating a beloved model doll. After trying on about a dozen hats, Su Yiyen's eyes suddenly fell on the green hat in the corner. Hua Chenhuan was speechless. Chapter 80. Su Yiyen seemed to be a little surprised by the two hats. She raised her hand and was about to reach for them. Yu Zian and Gu Xiaoyang's expressions changed drastically. They almost screamed, "Young mistress, stop!" As if she had heard their inner cries, Su Yiyen's hand paused before touching the two hats. She silently withdrew her hand. Then she turned her head and met Hua Chenhuan's gaze. Su Yiyen blinked and joked, "You like this?" Hua Chenhuan, the scapegoat, who loves being cuckolded, was speechless. Outside the shop, Gu Xiaoyang and Yu Zian were even more furious. Which ordinary man would like a cuckolded hat? Su Yiyen looked at Hua Chenhuan's pitiful look. She finally couldn't help but laugh. Even if you really like this, I won't buy it for you. Give up. Hua Chenhuan was speechless. No, he really didn't like it at all. After trying on so many hats, Su Yiyen really couldn't decide which one to buy. Just then, a voice suddenly came from not far away. No, this is too expensive. It's almost half a year's salary. I'll go back and buy some needles and thread later. It's warm and practical. It's not that expensive. Su Yiyen subconsciously looked in the direction of the voice. Only then did she realize that a young man and a young woman were standing in the scarf section next to them. The girl looked thin and small. She spoke softly and cautiously, like a little white rabbit that was easily frightened. The man standing next to her was in a suit, looking like a successful man in society. When he heard the girl's words, his face darkened, especially when he realized that there were other people not far away. It's fine if it's a normal day, but I'm taking you to meet my old classmates tomorrow. Do you want others to think that I'm abusing you by dressing like this? Or do you want my classmates to know that I was blind to have such a rustic girlfriend like you? The girl's face turned pale and she gripped her bag tightly. From Su Yiyen's angle, she could see the girl's red eyes glistening with tears. Su Yiyen frowned slightly. He looked down on this kind of straight man who yelled and ridiculed his girlfriend for the sake of his own face. However, he was not qualified to meddle in the private affairs of a young couple. He could only look away. What the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. Unexpectedly, she was too lazy to pay attention to this unpleasant episode. However, the man's pride seemed to have been hurt by the fact that there were people watching him. After scolding his girlfriend, he turned his attention to the two people not far away. When he saw the faces of Hua Chenhuan and Su Yu, he was obviously stunned for a moment. Jealousy and envy almost overflowed from his eyes. However, his gaze then landed on Hua Chenhuan's legs. His eyes turned slightly, as if he had understood something. He sneered, full of contempt and mockery. All right. If I tell you to buy it, then buy it. Why are you talking so much? It's not like we don't have money on hand. Unlike some poor people who should just stay at home and pretend to be rich. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others? The man had seen Su Yiyan trying on so many hats but still unable to decide which one to buy. He thought that she was hesitating because she was worried about money. Chapter 81. Su Yiyan heard this and saw the way he looked at Hua Chenhuan. Her face instantly turned gloomy. She threw the hat on the shelf and shouted, "Waiter!" The waiter in the store had been paying attention to the situation. When he heard Su Yiyan's call, he immediately trotted over and asked with a professional smile, "Miss, is there anything I can help you with? Help me pack up everything in that area and this area, except for the green hat, and send it to the Chengnan family Hua." The waiter's eyes flashed and said obediently, "Okay, I'll get someone to pack it up for you." Also, Su Yiyan stopped the waiter and took out a black card and handed it to him. "Ask this gentleman to leave. In the future, all the stores under the Su family's name don't need to receive him." The waiter's face changed slightly and his attitude towards Su Yiyan became more respectful. "Don't worry, I'll ask someone to ask this gentleman to leave." Security. When the man heard Su Yiyan's words, his face turned green and white and green again, as if he had been slapped dozens of times. When he saw the waiter call for security, it was clear that he was serious. His face became more and more ugly. "Who are you? Why are you asking me to leave? And you, I'm a customer, a god. Aren't you afraid that I'll sue you for treating me like this?" How could Su Yiyan not hear the panic hidden in the man's clamor? She sneered, "Just because this shopping mall is owned by my family, if you want to sue, then sue. If the legal fees are not enough, I can even support you." The man's face turned pale. He finally realized that he had kicked an iron plate and was speechless for a moment. The security guard quickly came in, followed by 2 intelligent robots to maintain order. If the person being chased out did not cooperate with violent resistance, these robots could use some forceful means to ask the person to leave. "Our shop is run by a pauper. We can't afford such a distinguished customer like you. Please leave." Su Yiyan's words could be said to be harsh. The man's face turned black. He pushed away the security guard who wanted to pull him and shouted, "Don't touch me, I'll leave by myself." After yelling, he left in a huff, not even caring about his girlfriend. Only the girl was left standing there awkwardly. She looked at the two of them apologetically and hurriedly followed them out. Although Su Yiyan felt pity for this girl, she knew that everyone had their own choices. If she was willing to choose such a man, then no one could help her. After driving away the eyesore, Su Yiyan still felt extremely uncomfortable. Just as she was wondering how to comfort Hua Chenhuan, she met his smiling eyes. "Were you standing up for me just now?" She had thought that she would be sad, but she was unexpectedly a little happy. For some reason, Su Yiyan suddenly felt a little shy. She snorted coldly and said in an imposing manner, "With me here, no one can bully you." Chapter 82. Gu Xiaoyang and Yu Zian, who were outside the glass wall, wanted to come in and help the moment the man opened his mouth. However, Hua Chenhuan stopped them with a look. Seeing this scene, the two of them had mixed feelings. They were happy that someone was willing to protect Hua Chenhuan, but they couldn't help but worry. The pet shop was only a few steps away from the shop where Su Yiyan and the others were. They arrived in a short while. Su Yiyan was quite familiar with this place. She quickly found the cat and dog section and focused on picking things with Hua Chenhuan. Halfway through, a kitten in the arms of a customer suddenly threw a tantrum. It howled and knocked over the cup in its owner's hand. Everything happened so suddenly that a small part of the water splashed onto Su Yiyan's skirt. The owner of the kitten was shocked when she saw that her cat had caused trouble. She quickly apologized to Su Yiyan while controlling the kitten. I'm sorry. My cat is too naughty. I'm really sorry." Su Yiyan glanced at the spot where the water had splashed. Since it wasn't a big problem, she didn't argue with the cat owner. Hua Chenhuan glanced at the man coldly. She frowned and suggested, "Let's go back to the shop and change your clothes. No need to go through so much trouble. I'll go to the bathroom to tidy up. Do you need me to go with you?" Su Yiyan thought of something and blushed. She shook her head and said, "No, the bathroom is quite close. I'll be back in a while." Hua Chenhuan didn't force her. She nodded and agreed. However, after Su Yiyan left, she unexpectedly saw a familiar figure. Hua Chenhuan's long and narrow eyes narrowed dangerously. She gave Yu Zian, who was not far away, a wink. Yu Zian instantly understood and quickly followed her. Su Yiyan went into the bathroom to tidy up her clothes. She was ready to go back. She didn't expect to meet an old acquaintance just as she walked out of the bathroom. "Why are you here?" Hua Xiaofan raised his eyebrows and sneered. "You think you can swagger here with my uncle to buy things? Can't I?" Su Yiyan replied coldly. She walked past him and wanted to leave, but Hua Xiaofan grabbed her wrist. "I know you took the initiative to propose a marriage alliance with my uncle in order to take revenge on me for breaking off the engagement and for falling in love with another woman. You don't love him at all. You're just using him, right?" Su Yiyan almost punched him when he heard that. He sneered and said, "If I don't love him, who do I love? Is that you?" Hua Xiaofan was stunned for a moment. He said proudly, "I know how you feel, and I know you're angry and sad because I broke off the engagement. But feelings can't be forced. Although we can't be husband and wife, we can still be friends. You shouldn't let your emotions affect your decisions. Using such an extreme method to hurt yourself and attract my attention is very irrational." Hua Xiaofan didn't think it was enough. He even added, "If it wasn't for Jingping, I might have followed my family's arrangement and been together with you. But God let me meet her. This means that we're not fated to be together. This is God's arrangement. No matter if it's you or me, we can't go against it. No matter how you struggle, it's useless." Chapter 83. Su Yiyan, who was inexplicably stuffed with a groundless love that turned into hatred, and was even dragged by the scumbag to tell her about his deep affection for a certain someone, felt goosebumps all over her body. She was so angry that she laughed and decided not to leave. She shook off Hua Xiaofeng's hand and took 2 steps back. She chuckled and said, "Where did you get the confidence to think that I'm so deeply in love with you that I can't extricate myself from it? I'm even willing to sacrifice my own happiness to attract your attention and beg you to look back at me?" Su Yiyan couldn't help but shudder after she finished speaking. Did this man really think that he was a stallion? Any woman who saw him would be infatuated with him and would live or die for him. She wasn't cheap. These days, 4-legged toads weren't easy to find, but 2-legged men were everywhere, okay? Not to mention, there was such an outstanding man who was in love with her. How stupid must she be to fall in love with someone who might not even be found in the trash? You don't have to rush to deny it. I understand everything. Su Yiyan was dumbfounded. She thought to herself, "What do you understand? Are all scumbags these days so narcissistic? If you don't have such feelings for me, why would you try so hard to get engaged to me? Why would you be so angry when you found out that I was with Jingping, to the point that you didn't even hesitate to marry my uncle?" Su Yiyan furrowed her brows. She wanted to say that she didn't feel wronged at all when she married Hua Chenhuan and that it was the happiest thing in her life. Unfortunately, before she could say it, Hua Xiaofeng interrupted her again. "Don't tell me that this was an accident. You clearly had many other choices after the engagement was called off. Why did you insist on marrying my uncle, who is from the same family as me?" Su Yiyan. "Scumbag, you're too dramatic. I really don't know how to cooperate with you. You dare to say that you don't have any feelings for me? Why wouldn't I dare to say it?" Su Yiyan looked at Hua Xiaofeng as if he was looking at an idiot who thought too highly of himself. Unexpectedly, in Hua Xiaofeng's eyes, this glance was seen as a sad expression on her face. He felt more and more certain that his guess was right, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up crazily. I knew it. How could anyone like a cripple like Hua Chenhuan? I heard that the car accident that year not only crippled his legs, but also caused him to lose his ability to reproduce. A man like him who can't stand on his own 2 feet, if you really want to get married, can he satisfy you? Can it make you a real woman? Su Yiyan was a little impatient when he heard Hua Xiaofeng's smug bragging. However, when he heard the latter part of the sentence, his face instantly darkened. His gaze towards Hua Xiaofeng also became murderous. "Say that again." What? Hua Xiaofeng was stunned. He curled his lips and said disdainfully, "He's just a cripple." Ouch! Before he could say the word cripple, Hua Xiaofeng was in so much pain that he almost knelt on the ground. His entire face turned red. Where was the complacent look that he had when he said that Su Yiyan still had feelings for him? At the corner of the corridor, Hua Xiaofeng's words had also made Yu Zian restless. He wanted to rush out and beat him up, but his body suddenly stiffened. For some reason, he felt the same as Hua Xiaofeng's pain in the ass. Chapter 84. Su Yiyan looked at the finger that was about to hit her. Her eyes turned cold as she sneered, "I hate it when people point fingers at me." Without waiting for the other two to react, she grabbed Hua Xiaofeng's wrist and pulled him forward. Then, she threw him over her shoulder, bang! Just by listening to the sound, one could imagine how painful it must be for the person who was being thrown around like a sandbag. Su Yiyan was furious and did not show any mercy. Hua Xiaofeng was not only in pain from the lower half of his body, but also felt like his entire body was about to fall apart. He was paralyzed on the ground and could not get up for a long time. Even so, he still stared at Su Yiyan. His ferocious expression was really frightening. "How dare you? How dare you? For a cripple you?" Su Yiyan was about to leave, but when she heard what he said, she immediately turned back and gave him another kick without hesitation. Ah! The miserable shriek made one's hair stand on end, but it was not enough to arouse Su Yiyan's compassion. She was about to explode from anger. "Cripple your sister. Today, I'll let you have a taste of being a cripple," Su Yiyan said as she kicked Hua Xiaofeng with all her strength. She even chose to step on those painful acupoints. "If a tiger doesn't show its might, you guys really think I'm a sick cat? What did you just say? Was I the one who tried every possible way to marry you? F***CK. Does your whole family have Alzheimer's and intermittent amnesia? Back then, it was your parents who took the initiative to come to my house and beg my grandparents. They took advantage of the fact that your mother and my mother were best friends in university and begged my parents to betroth me to you. How long has it been since then? How did it become me trying every possible way to marry you? You're distorting the truth. Aren't you afraid that the wind will cut your tongue? You be ***. Before Hua Xiaofeng could finish cursing, Su Yiyan kicked him again. "As for the annulment of the engagement and the matter between you and that shameless mistress, do you think you're worthy of it? Do you think that I would give up on such a rare treasure and pick up a pair of used shoes instead?" Hua Xiaofeng was in so much pain that his forehead was drenched in cold sweat. When he heard Su Yiyan describe him as a pair of broken shoes, he almost lost his breath and died of anger on the spot. "You really think you're so popular? Why don't you take a look at yourself? Hua Xiaofeng, as a piece of trash, please stay in the trash. Don't come out and pollute the environment, okay? How dare you compare yourself to my Chunhuan when you're such a coward? How dare you talk about him like that? Who asked you to keep your mouth clean? Who asked you to keep talking? Who asked you to keep talking?" The more Su Yiyan spoke, the angrier she got. She kicked Hua Xiaofeng a few more times. Yu Zian, who was observing from the side, was speechless. He thought that she was a daughter flower that only knew how to cry. He didn't expect her to be a man-eating flower. With that thought in mind, Yu Zian sneaked a peek at Hua Xiaofeng, who was lying on the ground like a dead dog and was barely breathing. At the same time, he couldn't help but feel a chill down his spine. The future young madam's fighting spirit was a little too strong. When he thought about how this young madam might get into an argument with their young master after marrying into the family, that scene, Yu Zian was so scared by his own imagination that he shuddered. However, with how much young master doted on young madam, they probably wouldn't get into an argument. Ahahaha. Chapter 85. After punching Hua Xiaofeng to her heart's content, Su Yiyan felt a little better after venting some of her grievances from 2 lifetimes. She let out a sigh of relief, tidied up her slightly messy clothes, and instantly changed from a domineering flower back to a cute little sweetheart. However, this little sweetheart's words were still full of hostility and threat. "Remember to respectfully call me and Chenhuan uncle and aunt when you see us in the future. Otherwise, I'll cripple you every time I see you." After saying this, Su Yiyan did not even look at Hua Xiaofeng, and hurriedly left in her high heels. Not long after she left, Yu Zian sneaked out from around the corner. Looking down at Hua Xiaofeng, who was not sure if he was alive or dead, he vented his anger and cursed, "Serves you right." After Su Yiyan left, she did not stay outside for long, and quickly returned to the pet shop. The moment she saw Hua Chenhuan, Su Yiyan's originally restless heart finally calmed down completely, and the smile on her face became more genuine. "Did you wait long? My stomach suddenly felt a little uncomfortable, so I stayed a little longer." "You don't have to apologize. Are you still feeling uncomfortable?" Su Yiyan was stunned for a moment before she realized that Hua Chenhuan was asking her if she still felt uncomfortable with her stomach. She did not know why, but her eyes suddenly felt a little sore. God was really unfair. Why should such a good person be looked down upon and slandered by others because of the harm she had suffered in the past? Thinking of this, Su Yiyan felt a little regretful. She should have kicked that scum a few more times. If Yu Zian, who was busy cleaning up the mess, knew what Su Yiyan was thinking at that moment, he would probably sigh and say, "Young mistress, if you kicked him a few more times, he would really die." "It's okay. I don't feel uncomfortable anymore. Did you see anything else just now?" "No, I'm not very familiar with these things." "Then forget it. These things are enough for them to play with. Let's go back. Dun Dun must be waiting for us at home." Hua Chenhuan was not in a hurry to answer. Instead, she glanced at Yu Zian, who had just returned with Su Yiyan. After receiving an affirmative nod from the other party, he replied with a faint smile, "All right." Su Yiyan and Su Yiyan got rid of the eyesore and happily went home with the small gifts they had chosen. On the other hand, Wen Jingping, who was finally able to get some fresh air, followed Hua Xiaofeng to the shopping mall to pick out clothes, was not so lucky. She waited in the clothing store for a long time, but Hua Xiaofeng didn't come back. She called him several times, but no one answered. In the end, he could only change out of the clothes he had chosen under the waiter's meaningful gaze and leave in a sorry state. After coming out of the clothing store, Wen Jingping's entire face was dark. She suppressed her anger and took out her phone to call Hua Xiaofeng again. Of course, the call didn't go through again. Wen Jingping was so angry that her teeth itched. She directly blocked Hua Xiaofeng's phone number. She opened her contact list and wanted to call a friend over to pick her up. However, a private message suddenly popped up in the back end of her live stream room. The content of the private message was not unfamiliar to her. The general idea was that someone in the gourmet area had plagiarized her live stream and had gained the support of many people. At first, Wen Jingping didn't pay much attention to it. She felt that no matter what, these people couldn't be a threat to her. They were just imitating others. Until she saw the holographic image of the spicy boiled fish at the end of the private message, Wen Jingping's pupils shrank. The hand holding the phone trembled. Chapter 86. Su Yiyan didn't know that Wen Jingping had noticed her with just a holographic projection and was afraid of her. Sure enough, Dun Dun liked the small gifts that the two of them brought back. As soon as they were handed to it, it pounced on it and hugged it tightly. Su Yiyan took the opportunity to stuff the dog and the gifts into Hua Chenhuan's hands and let him bring them home. Poor Dun Dun was given away again after returning home for a few hours. Before it left, it almost cried, threw a tantrum, and acted cute. It clung tightly to its owner's sleeves and refused to let go. Helpless, its owner had a stepfather. She had long changed from a biological mother to a stepmother. No matter how shamelessly it threw a tantrum, it couldn't beat a soft call from its stepfather. "Chi-Chi's flight is tomorrow morning. I have to pick her up. Let's have lunch together?" "Okay." Hua Chenhuan didn't really like to meet strangers unless it was unavoidable for business. But he liked it when Su Yiyan took the initiative to introduce her friends to him. This made him feel that Su Yiyan was trying to integrate him into her life and make him a part of her life. Late that night, the old family Hua residence was dark. It was quiet downstairs. There wasn't anyone around. Only in a corner of the courtyard, a person was waving a shovel miserably and digging a hole in despair. Suddenly, a series of footsteps came from behind. The figure waving the shovel froze. Like a rusty robot, he turned his head and looked over. After confirming that there was nothing behind him, he heaved a sigh of relief. who knew that in the next second, a hand would be placed on his shoulder. The late-night gardener was speechless. Don't come over, don't come over. If you come over again, I'll hit you. I'll really hit you. What are you shouting for in the middle of the night? Aren't you afraid of waking young master up? The familiar scolding made Yu Zian's head go blank. He opened his eyes tentatively. After seeing the two people not far away, he asked in a daze, Xiaoyang? Yan Bai? Gu Xiaoyang rolled his eyes at him. Who else could it be? Yu Zian's legs turned to jelly. He said angrily, You two are too much. You came up behind me without saying anything and even patted my shoulder. Don't you know that you can scare me to death? TSK, so the two of us came over to show concern for you, but we were wrong? Yan Bai, let's go. Don't bother with this ingrate. Are you here to show concern for me? You're obviously here to laugh at me. It would have been better if Yu Zian had not mentioned it. Gu Xiaoyang could not help but laugh out loud. Ha 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 ha, you two. You went out with young madam and got yourself such a job. I'm dying of laughter. Yu Zian saw him laughing and became even angrier. He raised the shovel and was about to shovel him. What are you laughing at? Not only are you not helping me, you're even laughing at me. What kind of brother are you? All right. Both of you, enough is enough. Zhua Yanbai stood between the two of them and held Yu Zian's hand. He said with a headache, What's going on? Didn't you accompany young master to Miss Su's house today? What happened? Why did Zian start farming as soon as he came back? When Yu Zian heard the word farmer, he felt like he had nothing left to live for. Gu Xiaoyang couldn't help but laugh out loud again. It's like this. Miss Su's best friend is coming back tomorrow. After lunch, the two of them invited each other to go shopping and buy gifts for her. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.